Welcome to today's conversation about living purposely. I'm Coach Brian Piranha. I've been a health coach for, it's been about 2 decades now. Personal trainer for many years. I've owned 2 gyms. I do remote nutrition and health coaching for people young, old, healthy, sick, chronically ill, people who know a lot about taking care of themselves and people who don't. So I've had thousands of conversations. It all stems back to an exercise nutrition degree in 04. So I'm pleased to present on living purposely today. The comments are open. The chat is open. Would love to engage. So the more that you engage, the better this experience is for both of us, all of us. So please engage. I will be monitoring that and be happy to just interrupt me and talk. And looking forward to this. Let's take it away. Living purposely. Let's define what that actually means. These days, it's so easy to be distracted and actually not live a life that's that interesting. If you just work all day and then you go home and you sit and stare at a screen again all day, it's just not a thrilling lifestyle to be doing. So we want to have some purpose, some drive, and we're going to outline that today. My family, my wife is a travel connoisseur. She's a travel advisor, and I'm a health coach, and so we have pretty interesting lives, I think. We travel. We've taken our 4 kids to all 50 states. We've done multiple continents. We're going to hit all 7 continents here at some point in the next 5 years or so. The goal is to kind of do that before my oldest graduates from high school. So we got to go. Got to get to places. The craziest thing being Antarctica. I never thought that would be possible or even a reasonable thing to do, but there it is. Let's define the agenda today. What is purpose? What are the health benefits of having purpose and drive and passion in your life? Pathways to find that purpose. It's really important to know and understand that there are ways to create this drive, this motivation, this sense of purpose, and how do we actually live it out? That's the real, where the rubber meets the road type situation. Very important that you actually do something. You have to do something. You can't just talk about it. Action is what makes life interesting. Let's define it. What is purpose? It's a reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. In our world, it's all created by someone's thought. Everything that we have is definitely been focused on creating the world, the experiences, the content, the tangible activities that we do every day. Certainly we have the physical and mental well-being, a sense of belonging or recognition, whether it's at work or in a social group or even in your nuclear family. Personally treasured activities, meaning making sure that we are doing things where you are really focused on. Some people love to, obviously I'm in exercise, so we have runners, we have cyclists, we have people who work out, we have other people that play music. In my house, we have 2 musicians. We actually had a third. He stopped playing steel drums as it wasn't an option in high school. Then we go into things like ethics and spirituality. What are your purposes and drive behind that as well? Purpose is not something you find. It's not a singular thing. It's not stable over time. Life is full of change. It's not only your career. Okay? We're multifaceted human beings, living creatures that can find purpose, drive, excitement, passion in a lot of activities that we hold near and dear to us. Discovering your purpose. What do you love? We got to identify that. If you know what you love or at least like, you don't have to have this dying passion for be a musician or something, but if you enjoy music, then we can start to explore that concept of what music in your life could look like and be like. What are you good at? It's number 2. If we can then piggyback things that you're more naturally gifted with or align with your personality or your natural characteristics of who you are as a person, then we can piggyback on that and start to create a sense of being and purpose that way. Third, easy observation. Look around. The world needs love. It needs happiness. It needs joy. It needs direction, guidance, teaching. There's plenty of activities that you can do to find purpose and helping someone else as well find purpose. One of my purpose of helping people with their health, nutrition, fitness, and lifestyle is to give them more confidence, more energy to go do those things, to stop spending so much time concerned with what they eat or what their exercise routine is or trying to lose weight or having to deal with diabetes. Or my most recent conversation I have is with someone that has high cholesterol. That's weighing on him. Having high cholesterol, that's a big concern for his long-term health, especially if he's in his 30s. We can't let this dictate what the next 2 decades of his life look like living in poor health. We need to find an easy approach around food, around activity, around exercise. Give him the tools, the understanding, the needs, fill in the needs of the gaps that he has to then be able to go out there and live and do other things, not related to just improving his cholesterol numbers and worried about his overall health. So helping people thrive is something I love to experience with them. Let's break these down. So number 1 was, what do you love? Joy, I brought that up. Bring joy into the world. Bring joy to those around you. Joy, happiness, excitement. It brings energy. It brings positivity. It brings this optimistic viewpoint. Glass is half full. Sun is always shining type experience. It creates long-term state of inner peace, contentment. It makes you feel alive. You're able to cultivate when you're using this gift and just being meaningful personally to those closest to you. If you have joy, it really helps align with your interests areas and you're able to give even more in that. It helps you feel fulfilled at the end of the day. When your head goes to the pillow and it's beddy bye time, sleepy time, you can feel fulfilled. You can feel that you've accomplished something in the day. There's a sense of, okay, let's put this day to rest. I've done what I can. I've made an impact one way or another, and I'm happy to be alive. So how do we find joy? Number 1, it's inward. You have to find joy inside yourself, in your heart, in your brain, in your gut, with the activities, the thoughts, the feelings, the energy that you bring. So create intentional space in those areas, but also in your schedule and with people closest to you. Choose to be authentic. Authenticity and being you attracts others that are like you. Helps you connect with those that find similar interests in common and brings a lot more joy. I just recently got done working out with a friend, a close friend now, Chris. We work out 3-4 times a week. He's 4 kids. He's self-employed like I am. I have 4 kids, and there's a lot of we're the same age. We find joy in exercise, and it's a great stress relief. It's something we look forward to, and we act like we're in high school again. So we play music videos and just like and grunt and flex and just be silly. And it really is something I look forward to in the day. Really gives me energy and excitement to come jump on this, come to my next phone call with a lot of positivity and energy to help whoever's on the other end and help them see opportunity in their day. Think small picture. We don't have to be big. We can be very small and singular when we start. By having small, then we can focus our energy on that one specific thing to then be able to open it up if that's what we choose to do. Okay. Reconnecting with nature. Green, breath, like fresh air. There's snow on the ground. As much as that you may or may not like that, those can bring peace to people. and that brings that joy and that excitement, connecting with, where we came from, in a sense, nature. Seek out positive people. Really important to surround yourself with like-minded individuals that encourage you, push you greater, farther ahead. Can't tell you how important that is to have that type of relationship. Like Chris and I push each other. We're encouraging. It's wonderful. In my coaching relationships with my clients, I'm the person guiding and leading and bringing them. I'm the anchor. I'm the positivity. I'm the lead to help them choose to better their life, better their health. Get curious. Curiosity is such an enjoyable way to experience the world, looking at things through the curiosity lens and just being open to seeking out new adventures, new experiences, new sounds, smells, new connections. That's how you find joy. Number 2 is, what are you good at? Ask yourself, does it come naturally to me? I feel that I'm a pretty personable guy. I can connect with others. I can chat. I can relate and use sarcasm and humor sometimes to get people to laugh. And so those things come naturally. And I found a way to create value in our world and get paid for it, and it helped change other people's lives. So it creates a level of fulfillment quite a bit. I spend a lot of time doing it every day, talking on the phone or texting people or posting on social medias and whatnot to help encourage people. Number 2 is, what was I good at as a child? Sometimes adulting gets hard. Adulting is challenging. If people told us what adulting actually was, I'm 42, I'm going to be 42 here in like 2 weeks. I'm like, I don't know if I want that. I'd rather just stay a little kid. There's a lot more joy and activity. I find great joy and excitement in my memories of being as a child. I was involved in sports. I got good grades. I did a lot of activities. I was outside a lot and playing with kids. We would play this. I remember playing hide and seek. It was epic. It was like a neighborhood hide and seek. Or sled riding. We'd always be going out. There's snow on the ground. We would be sled riding for hours. Like, I remember that stuff, and it brings joy. So you can reconnect to some of the things that you love and enjoyed as a child to help start to reignite some passion and energy. What compliments do I tend to ignore? These are things where compliments to your personality, to your body, to your energy, to who you are. Like, what compliments you, and not just keep pushing them to the side. What skills have helped me overcome hurdles and thrive? Life continues to change. You have to adapt. You always want to be learning. You always want to be equipping yourself with skills to time manage better, stress manage better, to cope with the challenges that are on our plates. For me, it's parenting, paying bills, and making sure there's always money available to do fun things. These are all skill sets that you as a human can learn and can grow from as we get older. And yes, you can teach an old dog new tricks. So you can go find something new to learn. And there's so many easy options that are readily available on our phones, say a foreign language. It's incredibly easy to have access for very little to no money to start learning another language. And that could be something that could really thrive and create more passion and purpose, because you go to this, maybe you went to a foreign land when you were younger and you have really fond memories of that, and being able to go back and speak the language and connect with the people could create a whole new life that you never dreamed of having. You just have to be open and curious about that. What to consider? Your innate talent. How talented you are. We all have talents. Whether you think you do or not, you have talents. You have abilities. You have a knowledge base. You just have to be able to recognize these tools, these skills and abilities to better yourself. So really kind of take a deep dive on like, what am I actually good at? That's a really good question to ask yourself to start to dig up more passion and drive toward a certain topic. There's so many top niche topics that you can just thrive on, and there's so many different ways to connect with people who are similar minded. So let's hit the chat right now. You can comment. Love to see this. What brings you joy? What are you good at? What brings you joy? What are you good at? So, I find joy in being physically strong and active. I find joy in, I love living in anticipation. Oh my gosh, like this weekend we're going to do this and this and this, and next week we're going to do that. We're talking about traveling after Christmas. We might go to Mexico or Florida or maybe somewhere else. Last spring break, we had almost an impromptu visit to Africa. We went to the safari. We went and saw the pyramids in April with our 4 kids. It was amazing, and it was just thrilling to be able to experience that. And so those are some of the things that bring me joy. Being with my friends, family, being outside with my chickens. I had ducks. If you had chickens, like there's a kind of rotating circle there. I've had about 25 total ducks, I think, before they were all said and done, if you know what I mean. So, but we loved having ducks for a while, having fresh eggs and taking care of them. It was hilarious just seeing them roaming around our yard. That was a joy in and of itself. See the string of ducks like waddling past, eating up all the bugs in the grass and stuff. Baking and decorating cakes. 'Tis the season, Emily. I hope that you are surrounding yourself with people and opportunities to bake and decorate and enjoy within reason, of course, right? This is nutritionist here, not overdoing it. Empowering others, trying new foods. Gosh, there's so many tastes and flavors in this world that you can experience, and you might absolutely love something that you never experienced yet. So being curious and open can allow for you. Teaching yoga. I taught group exercise classes for years. I've owned gyms, so I'd lead classes forever. I always loved connecting with people when they came in and help push themselves, being healthy. Love it. You guys are awesome, hitting up the chat box, so keep that going. Love it. Let's keep moving on. All right. There's one in the Q&A box. Let's see if I can open it. Trying new foods. Okay, good. All right, third on our list here, what does the world need? Oh my gosh, there's so many opportunities. My son and I, he's in high school for years now, we've been watching CNN 10. It's a middle school, high school, science-y backed program that CNN releases for that type of audience. They have things about space and animals and human projects and sometimes politics and world, current world things happening. It talks about the wars and such, or trash and cleanup and all this. And they give so many different needs of the people. One of the CNN people who was recognized last year as like the man of the year, woman of the year, but he was a doctor, a veterinarian that actually helped people who are homeless. So he created a whole project and service that he would go out on the streets in major cities, specifically the one he lived in, and go help service the animals, because he recognized that an animals was man's best friend, and sometimes a really strong reason why that person chose to find opportunity. And so he'd go out and take care of the dogs and the animals and such. And so he ended up winning a lot of money and did a lot of cool things with that need that he found that he could serve, and you could listen to him talk. It brings him great joy. So finding what the world needs, it goes beyond one's own need, right? People need help. They need guidance. They need direction. You can provide that to someone. It may be based on your impressions or needs expressed by others. So if you listen and engage with people, and are present, then you can start to pick up on these things and look for opportunities to help and find some passion and growth. Examples include nursing, clean water, election day volunteers, access to mental health care. The list can go on. Just mentoring children I did that for quite a while. But I would go into the high school and I would mentor a student for a number of years. I ended up doing it with 3 different kids to have one-on-one connection, to give this person someone else to talk to and relate and just help. So many opportunities to seek out what the world needs compassion, the world needs joy, the world needs love. For all the places that I have been, I've been a lot, that's one of the main things I see. Humans just want to live a healthy, happy, joyful life. They want to be around people that they connect with. They want to avoid conflict. They don't want negativity in their life. They don't want drama. That's what a very universal experience that I've had coming across so many people. And even we've done all 50 states since my daughter was born. She's 9. So we've been hot to trot a lot of different spots. Find your ingali. It's a Japanese concept meaning a reason for being. So we have the core of your reason, but then we have some of the subconscious sub pieces of that: passion, mission, profession, vocation. So these are maybe some of the things that take up your everyday activities, like my profession, my mission, vocation, like all these things work toward helping others improve their health. Then it ranges out again. There we have what do you love to help find your passion and your mission. What the world needs is your vocation and a mission statement. Profession and vocation, what you can be paid for. What people are paid for these days are so crazy and different, and you can create an opportunity around a hobby these days and make a really good income. So if you don't like what you're doing, you can find another way to have a really thrilling, exciting life that works for you and works for people around you. What are you good at? Passion, profession is where that is. And so when we start to hone in and you write down, what do I love and what am I good at and what can I actually be paid for? And there's so many avenues of revenue these days. What the world needs. Then we keep working inward. Then you can start to find opportunities. You can go find someone that probably can teach you and coach you to do that exact thing. You can learn skills to be able to attract people that would buy your service, that would buy your goods. My wife does 2 things. She has goods and she has a service. She has an Etsy shop, which she started, and she writes hand letters on globes. And that provides passion and provides joy. She's very busy right now with Christmas gifts. And so everyone gets this world ornament globe, and it says adventure awaits, or it might have another custom phrase. And she's got thousands of Etsy sales from people all over the world that have purchased globes for her to hand letter on. Her service is a travel agent, advisor. She creates epic trips for families and beyond. From our experiences traveling all 50 states and beyond, to her unique ability to absorb information and apply. She's like a credit card point guru. I can't tell you how many flights and hotel night stays that we've had for free because she's absorbed so much knowledge and she has these unique skill sets that can really set her apart to giving you an amazing adventure that you could have never experienced. Like our Africa trip. We planned that in under 6 weeks. We did a safari for 3 days in the Masai Mara, then reservation, and then a guided tour, and just had all the unique offerings that brings and that culture brings to us. And then we went to Egypt, and we had another guided tour there. I was inside the Giza pyramid and traveling all over. One of our hotels had the Giza pyramid in the background. It was just we walked out on our porch, and there it was. I was like, what in the world? This is crazy. So there's so many opportunities to find unique ways to find this purpose and passion. Well, health benefits. If you are passionate about what you love to do and you're energetic, and then you're going to be less likely to be sick and disease. Your mental state's going to be more on the positive side because you're always seeking out positive affirmation, positive dopamine hits, and not just self-soothing or stress coping type mechanism. Those are things that I deal with people all the time. One of my next calls, I've got a lady who's been pretty sick. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of illness going around. Maybe you've experienced, whether it's yourself or people close to you. I have three of my people, the six of us, they're on medicine, antibiotics and stuff because they're ill. I have multiple clients that are ill. So I'm going to be speaking with Samantha, and we're going to go over like how she's managing her being sick, how she's managing still staying on track to take better care of herself with her overall body goals. The next person, we're going to talk about motivation and how to rekindle that fire that she had in the beginning that's waning at the moment. Well, she just had a major surgery. She is still recovering from it. She wants to go all in, but she can't. And it's the holiday season. And when we have these things, this culmination combined, it can drain your battery toward wanting to, say, take better care of yourself, or even just pay more attention like you were in the past. Like humans lose motivation. It's just the way it is. So if those are things that I'm going to be talking about in my next 2 phone conversations with clients to help them manage. And the primary goal is we get out of the call with a clear plan of action. They have energy. They're motivated to take care of themselves. They have clarity on why they're doing it so that they can move forward. So supports physical and mental health. If you're focused on positivity, it's hard to be depressed. Dementia is reduced. Alzheimer is reduced risk. Addiction is, we're all addicted in some way, one way or another, but wouldn't you want your addiction to be towards something positive that gives you a better experience rather than a negative one? I'd much rather encourage someone toward an exercise addiction rather than an alcohol addiction. So like that would make a lot of sense. It's just the way it is. Stroke. All these negative side effects can be influenced through seeking purpose and finding joy every single day. Enhances emotional well-being. Well, you're happier, more productive, you're motivated internally to do things. I wake up, I shoot out of bed, ready to go. I'm not just like wandering around hitting the snooze button 8 times. Like I got things to do, people to talk to, and kids to raise. So I am in a workout to do with Chris. So I'm excited about what lies ahead in my day. It's not like, oh, look at that schedule. Boring, uninterested. Wow. No, thank you. That's not it. There's less resilient, there's more compassion here. There's more resiliency. You're able to push through challenging times, whether it's an illness or experiencing illness. John is a gentleman. His sister has cancer for the 2nd time. There has to be some purpose for him to find resilience and help encourage his sister through that as well. These are conversations to talk about to make sure that he stays on track for himself, because if he's not taking care of himself, how can he show up for his sister who really needs him right now? So he has the courage to not just get into a funk, but can actually thrive. Improves life satisfaction. Live each day to the fullest. Take pleasure in the simplest things. I can't tell you how much in my aging, how much I just am joyful of being present with my kids. One, I know that I'm running out of time. My oldest is in high school. The other 3 are in middle school. Time is fleeting all of a sudden. I don't see my son as much. He wants a phone. Oh my gosh, like we have avoided a phone all the way till high school. And now he has access to a phone, and that in and of itself is a challenge that we're trying to manage as well. And so that's something that we really have to, like, I want to connect with him and grow a strong, positive bond, even more so now that he's turning into a young man. And I want to connect with him so that when he leaves, he trusts me to connect with me, to circle back to, hey, Dad is actually a cool guy to hang around and still share part of this life with. Well, we have experience greater productivity. You can actually get stuff done because it's not laborsome. Sure, you have to do the work. Everyone always has to do work, but it doesn't have to be hard. You can just get to it. You don't have to ramp yourself up with all this strategy and that strategy and all these things. You can just get to it. You have a clear sense of direction. You know where you're heading, and you have at least a general roadmap on how to start getting there. You lean into your values because life is geared that way, and it just drives more success. And you're acting with integrity. You can, I have an ethical business. I help people improve their life, and I genuinely want them to improve. So if you were to work with me, we're going all in on improving you because it's important for both of us to be successful. And so I act with high integrity to help my clients to the fullest, understanding their situation, listening, and be able to apply the appropriate feedback that they can actually take action on, that they can improve themselves, they can continue to take the next step toward a happier, healthier lifestyle. Pathways to purpose. How do we get there? That's always a challenging. Well, having a guided visualization helps us slow down and be able to reflect on. Certainly, we need to understand where you've been. You need to think through what's happened in your past. If you can reflect on it, bring the positive things with you, learn from the failures. The failures are just learning experiences, okay? You just learn more through being able to have an experience that didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. How many businesses just keep or business owners, I'm on my 8th iteration of who I am and how I deliver and how I engage with people because of prior experiences. And I started off just teaching group exercise, and then I was in a gym being a personal trainer, and then I owned a gym, and then I have been doing this remote coaching, and it just keeps shifting because I'm learning from my past and applying it. Where are you currently at? You have to take recollection of how much time you have available, the resources you have, the skill sets, the people around you, your network. Who can you connect with to create opportunities on to be able to better yourself and better what the world needs and what would work best for you. And then where are you going to discover a deeper sense, meaning, and purpose in your life? So important to have at least an idea, a concept, and then we can start to figure out the strategies and the roadmap to actually get there. If you know where you're going, you can then create that pathway. Millions of people have created pathways for themselves throughout years to create a better lifestyle for themselves and find that purpose. So, more chat, please. Hit the chat box. So what desires appeared for you during that guided visualization? And what body sensations did you notice? What were some of the things? I'll go back to it. Understanding where you've been, understanding where you currently are at, and then the desire of where you want to go, and knowing that at least a ballpark on that. Is anything resonating with anyone? So for me, like I said, I've been in multiple different scenarios and situations, and I've learned and I've adapted. I've developed skills. I've been able to talk to people. I've had thousands of conversations throughout the year, so I'm pretty adaptive to any person in any situation because I've experienced so much. And that provides me with where I'm at now. And I'm constantly tweaking and refining, even recently just redefined what my roadmap is of a client experience of when they start with me. We go through the jumpstart phase. We get them unstuck from some of the challenges that they have day to day around like food, around activity, around their mindset, their lifestyle behaviors. And then we go into phase 2 is accelerating and embed these things, establish habits, routines, more systems, more processes that make living healthier easier, and whatever that means for that person. And then we go into the cruise phase. Cruise is when we actually have a lifestyle that we've created and embedded into their everyday actions, and they just live the life that they want to live, and it gives them the look, the feel, the body that they're after. And that's been the process that I have been tweaking and adjusting, even recently as in the last 2 weeks. So learning and growing with great coworkers. Excellent. We're constantly getting feedback from everyone. And your ability, your IQ and EQ and all those cues to help be able to have conversations, have active participation, and find opportunities to grow is great. Seek out volunteer opportunities. This is wonderful. My son, second son, Everett, he's in National Junior Honors Art Society, and he got recruited to go for this Making Wishes Happen Foundation that was about having families who have some form of terminal illness in their life, so pretty heavy. And I was just going to drop them off, and all of a sudden I'm getting recruited in. So I'm serving hot chocolate for like 4 hours at the Akron Zoo and really having a blast, just sharing some joy and being helpful to others. So there's so many opportunities to volunteer. I didn't even know I was going to volunteer until I dropped them off. They're like, you're staying, right? I'm like, I guess so. So happy to help. So that's great. All right. Next up, best possible self. I love this webinar. This is so good. All right, step 1. Imagine in the future you're 109 years old, because in the future we can live that long, right? And everything has gone as well as it possibly could. You're functional, you got your brain capacity, you're a function out of your body, you have good energy, and disease is not there. Think of this as the realization of all your life dreams, right about what you imagined. If you could take a moment and even just put some bullet points down. We'll take just a few moments for each of these. So right about what you imagine. If I'm 109, I am one of the head patriarchs of my family. I have 4 kids, so we're gonna have at least 8 people, and their relationships are bonded. That they found people that work really well for them, that they are connected, that there's love and passion and joy in those experiences, so that they can thrive in a relationship and not have a broken family. They have kids, grandkids. How many grandkids can 4 kids have? Well, I had just one brother, and now I have 4 kids. I don't know what happened there, but we can multiply. And so all of a sudden I can have 20 people or so in my periphery of people that I love and care for. And being there and showing up and being just a storyteller, someone that delivers wisdom, that is always excited to be around. Those are things that I can imagine and would love to have. Step 2, hopefully you wrote some stuff down. Step 2, imagine your 109-year-old self has access to a time machine. If they use this time machine to travel to the present moment, right now, climb out and sit next to you and give you advice, what would they say? Oof. I always think of this. Sometimes I have this image of Brian in 5 years from now throwing a lasso around who I am and where I'm at now and start pulling it toward that future self. Things that I would want to give advice to, things that I think of is always show up, always be there, connect, have real conversations with people close to you, stop and take time for the things that matter, and don't just get caught up in the world, in the distractions, in the everyday life. You just take moments in the day to appreciate what is around you in present. Those are things. And then just keep doing the everyday things that take care of yourself. It doesn't have to be hard. You drink your water, move enough, Don't overeat calories. Eat good, healthy foods. Get your sleep. Those are basic concepts to living a healthy lifestyle that people just get distracted from. And next up, take this advice and create a list of next steps. What are 3 actions you need and will take each day? For me to show up in a healthy state there, I need to do those things. I drink water, get enough sleep, eat good nutrition, move my body. Those are basic concepts to being as healthy as you can as you grow old. As far as other things, the next steps of constantly surround myself with positive people, positive inputs. I don't need drama. I don't need stress. I don't need toxicity. I don't need negativity coming into my environment. So I can protect myself to thrive in a sense and not have that weigh on me and pull down my energy and needs. Also, just help the person in front of you become better. Like that's what I do. And that would be the thing. Leave them in a better position than when I found them. That's a really golden rule type thing. And that would help me thrive to create my next steps. So hopefully just some examples of things off the top of my head are helpful for you to find some more passion and become your best possible self. This is a vision board. Your life. What are the things that make it up? From your physical body, your partner, your relationships, your family, your work, your wellness, your just overall holistic well-being, your friends, your social life, your spirituality, your budget. What are the things that make up who you are? And when you can kind of sit down and write these things out, then you start to you see the bigger picture, and then can start to find those strengths, those commonalities, those connections that help you find that greater purpose for yourself. Self-assessment. Help identify skills, values, interests, and preferences. There's so many different ways to find these type of assessments online. There's a number of them here. The BIA, the Myers-Briggs, Big 5 personality, the values, Keirsey, temperature sorter. There's so many different ones. Yeah, I found that I'm a golden retriever. I'm a loyal. I am positive. I like to connect with people. I have good energy. Like those are just some of the general things that I've gotten from taking some of these personality tests. I'm an extrovert. Those are just some things that I know, and when I understand my strengths and my weaknesses, then I can lean into my strengths and close some of the gaps on my weaknesses. How do I learn to better manage some of the weaknesses, the things that I'm not so strong at? We're people. We can learn. Everything on this earth is just learning to get better. So powerful questions. So you can take a picture of this. Where were you? What were you passionate about as a child? I liked activity. I like being active, and maybe that's a reason why I'm active now. What issues do you hold close to your heart? I shared a couple of them. My family is a big one. Staying close and connected with them is important to me. What activities make you lose track of time? That's when you know you're onto something. If you can not getting lost in Netflix, please. That's not a passion or a purpose. That's just something essentially to distract you. But what are the activities that you can do and just enjoy? What do people typically ask you help for? What do they recognize in you that you may or may not know or understand? Maybe someone always asks you to fix things, whether it's like physical things like tools and such, or you're like the wisdom holder. You're the person to seek advice to, like that. Those could be some strong suits, and then you can leverage that into other opportunities that create more fulfillment for you. What conversations you have with your closest friends? What are the things that you dream about? What's on your bucket list? What are those things that you want to accomplish in this life? And what are some of your regrets and your deathbed that you may have? That's a really powerful one. Write down what are the things that I don't want to regret in life. Oftentimes, regrets are just lost opportunities to take action on that you didn't put enough time, energy, effort, or purpose into creating. Who inspires you? Find role models. Find people that are doing things that you want to do. Find people who motivate you, that speak a certain language that you resonate with and connect. YouTube, podcasts, books. There's so many opportunities to find people that you resonate with to surround yourself with that power of positivity. Personal mission statement. So here's 4 of them. To use my writing skills to inspire and educate others to make the world a better place. Whew. Social media is quite the platform, as we've seen in the last 20 years. Social influencers and stuff. So you can have your writing skills impact others by speaking to them and connecting with them. To create innovative healthcare solutions that improves the lives of others, especially with the recent issues in news and media. Healthcare needs improvement. There's huge opportunities to jump into that space and provide a better experience than what people are dealing with right now. To inspire my children to be more than they think they can be. As a parent, that's always it. You always want better for your kids. You're always hoping and dreaming for them and cultivating them along the way. Teaching them, educating them, giving them opportunities to thrive. That's definitely what I think a parent should be and is. To support and elevate those around me. Leave the people around you and the person in front of you in a better place than when you got to them. Okay? That's just paying it forward in a sense. Live it out. So let's get this stuff in action. Be here and now. The present is where we are in the state of being. You have to be present. You have to be focused. You have to be in front. Like, this is it. This is where I am right now. And I'm trying to give you a really great presentation, great energy, great connection, great ideas in your head so that you leave this and not just like, wow, check that box off today. I'd love it that you like, wow, he did bring some energy and he got me thinking a little bit. And maybe that seed planting changes into something else. That's a cool thing. I can drop pebbles in people's ponds and let it ripple. It's awesome to watch happen. So practice presence, like be in the now, focus on what's happening now, and don't just get lost in daydreaming or thought or nothingness. Redefine success. Constantly doing that with people. Constantly. What did you do that was so successful this week? I always start my calls with successes because oftentimes people don't recognize themselves for the hard work and effort and the results that they're doing. I remember this one time we were about 45 minutes into a phone call, and then the person was telling me why this thing wasn't happening and that thing and the other thing, and they'd lost 3 pounds. Well, why didn't you say that like in the first minute after I asked you, like, hey, what went well this week? Oh, I lost 3 pounds. That would have changed the whole tone and energy of the conversation because they just were like, say more on the defensive, but they didn't see that was a success. But that is a huge success. And then I have to understand, like, this is this person's model and behavior around what success actually is or means to them. And then I can engage with them in a better way to help make sure that they stay on that positive energy around, hey, you are losing weight. This is a great experience. We're doing things in a better way than you've done them ever before. Set an intention each day. So important. The successful people focus on the most important tasks that are needle movers in their life, not necessarily others. Sure, you have to problem solve. Like I made waffles for my son. He stayed home today. So I stopped what I was doing and I made waffles with him to create that experience and just want to work all day and him just sitting in the room. So I stopped, I participated, engaged, it helped him make some, and we had breakfast together to create a good experience. I'll work at another time of day, so there's no limit to time to work when you're self-employed. So what are you focusing on today? What are you grateful for? What is one thing you're looking forward to? Those are 3 powerful questions that can set strong intentions in the beginning of your day, or at the end of the day, you can recap. Okay, what is one thing I accomplished? What is one experience that just really made me feel grateful or feel love or joy or happiness? And what was one thing that, like a memory I'll treasure moving into tomorrow? Those are 3 recap questions that you could create. Those are just off the top of my head. Overcome limiting beliefs. Whew, these things hold you down. Oftentimes, your limits are just up here. Maybe someone told you couldn't do something or be something or whatever. Like, you just don't have to accept that. It doesn't have to be truth of your reality. You can grow, you can change, you can build, you can develop into creating better experiences for yourself through better beliefs that you can do the things that you want to do, that you say you're going to do. You will follow through with them and you'll take responsibility for your life. So let go of certainty. Life is full of unknowns. The leaning into change is a really good concept to think about. There's nothing that's stable that won't change. Even like our earth is changing, whether it's self-induced through humans or the world itself. Even where I'm at right now, there was like billions of tons of glaciers sitting on this ground millions of years ago. It's not here, but it might come back in millions of years later. Who knows? But there's always going to be change. So certainty is just a fallacy. Change your self-talk. You can't let yourself have negativity. It's so easy to go down that rabbit hole of negativity. You can't allow it to impact you. You have to stop it. You literally be like, stop. And I'm leaving this conversation with myself. I'm going to go a different direction. And then if you're unfortunately do a lot of negative self-talk, that might be something that you have to work at. That is a skill you can develop to get out of a self-talk situation. Take a rubber band around your wrist. Every time you catch yourself in a negative self-talk spiral, pull the rubber band back, let it go. It'll hurt a little bit. Because you're hurting yourself. And it's a pattern interrupt. It's a way to break this chain of reactions that you go down this rabbit hole. So you don't have to do that. Using your talents and skills and acquire new abilities. So how do we be kind to ourselves? One, self-kindness, it all starts with you first. If you're kind to yourself, it's a lot easier for others to be kind to you. Recognize common humanity. Sharing human experiences, that's all that this world is. Moments of connections with others. And I think those are some of the things that I'm starting to appreciate in my aging process here. Mindfulness, being open to the reality of the present moment. We are right here, and acknowledge suffering acknowledge our suffering without acknowledging it. Like just knowing that you again can change what your experiences are. Procrastinators, this is a challenge for a lot of people. We got things that will hold you back from finding purpose, finding joy, doing the next thing on your list. You're the perfectionist. Maybe you identify with this one. It always have to be perfect and I won't do it. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than not doing it at all. And then again, as soon as you put something out, you can tweak and adjust. I put out a post on social media and the lady's just like, oh, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't do the best job proofreading. And so then I learned from experience, and my new Apple Intelligence proofreads and it rewrites things. And I'm like, oh, I probably should use this feature now so that I don't put out garble. And people are like, what is he trying to say? It literally doesn't make any sense. So the dreamer puts off tasks because they struggle to pay attention to detail. You have such this big picture thing that you can't get down to the next step task. The worrier puts off tasks out of fear of change or discomfort of the unknown. I can fall into this too. It's like, oh, I'm not going to do this one instead because I don't know what's going to happen, or it's going to cost time and money to do this. The crisis maker and puts off tasks because they like working under pressure. You don't have to do everything at the last moment to have this ball of stress surround you. The overdoer takes on too much and struggles with finding time for tasks. That's an unfortunate commonality here with a lot of people too. They just take on too much. They don't understand the power of no and how it can impact their everyday. How do we prevent these things? Real quick, to-do list. We take baby steps in making the next step. We recognize warning signs. If you are a procrastinator or you have challenges with your energy, you want to understand the warning signs so you don't go down the rabbit hole, so to speak, and it takes a lot of time and effort to get out. Eliminate distractions. Distractions are everywhere and always. You have to manage those literally better in your life. And then pat yourself on the back occasionally, like thank yourself that you are doing a good job. Take aligned action. Dictated by your priorities, values, and goals. Like what's the next best step for your long-term vision? So my 109-year-old self, I can have this picture in my mind and have that conversation internally with myself. What should I be doing today to have a better tomorrow? And allowing yourself to let go of the attachments of the outcomes. That's so important in every day. You can't be attached to the outcomes. It's going to change. It's going to shift on you. We're starting to wrap up here. So what is one action you will take to live purposely this week? We went over a bunch of them. I'd love to hear it. For me, it's constantly utilizing my most important tasks list. Write down the tasks that I want to do so that I can stay focused on the things that matter the most and not get distracted with everything else, because it's very easy for me to get distracted with 4 kids, with a bunch of clients and just the ongoings of daily life. Those are challenges that I have to manage and make sure that I focus on what's most important and do that. Another person says they're going to stop procrastinating. They're going to just make sure that they write a list down as well. We've got another person that they like the part about being present, and they're going to take just a little bit more of a moment to appreciate what's happening in front of them. That's powerful. That's exciting. Well, conclusion, wrapping up here. We got one more, probably live for today and not worry about tomorrow. Marie, you might not be here tomorrow. It just is. Like, we don't know. I might not be here tomorrow. So you need to live for today and make it the most exciting that it can be, so that you can really check this day off when you lay down tonight and be like, I did what I needed to do and could do in my day. So I love it. Purpose is not something you find, it's something that you create. You're creating the life that's worth living. Focus on creation. Consider what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs. Those are 3 concepts to really give you direction on what you should be doing with yourself and your time. Prioritize intentional time to self-reflect and connect to your purpose. So you need space, you need time, you need ability to connect with what it is that you're trying to do. You can't just keep rushing to the next thing. Stay present, overcome limiting beliefs, and take aligned action so that you actually get to where you want to go. So I want to thank you. We're ending right on the top of the hour. Any questions? There's our email. And I appreciate your time today. I hope you got a lot out of it. I got a lot out of it just talking about it. So hopefully I was entertaining, engaging, and had some good energy. Now I'm going to take all this energy into my next conversation. Watch out, Samantha. Brian's bringing the heat. He's got a lot of good vibes going, and we're going to bring it in. So I appreciate your time today. I hope you take a lot out of this, and by a lot I mean a little. Just what is that next best thing for you to be aligned with who you want to be and be reflected in the world. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I appreciate you so much today, and thank you for your time and attention. Bye-bye.
Record.